Let's move on to the personal tax front. I think it is one thing that has really wowed everyone, wowed the middle class, your core vote bank also of the BJP. You want, obviously, people to move to the new tax regime. So by when will you then look at phasing out 80C and 80D deductions? Because, that's really the core of investments, healthcare. When will this happen? What is your time frame to sort of move to the new tax regime entirely?
No, I'm not given myself a time frame. I'm more looking at it to make sure every Indian citizen makes his own choice, her choice. It's one thing for me to say I'm bringing in a better system, which is going to be less complicated, in fact, least complicated, which also is going to give you a rate which is going to be reasonable for each one of our levels of income, and make it attractive, therefore, for compliance and also for the rate. I pay less tax there. But it's another thing to have a system which is going on, where, unfortunately, I don't want to criticize anybody. Unfortunately, the impression is I have so many exemptions given, which incentivizes me to save for insurance cover, for medical cover, for even saving for better interest earning that I can have, and so on. I don't want people there to think that I've denied them that. Please if you want to have it that way. But it's not just one government or the other. In general, the philosophy that governed it was you'll have all those exemptions and you'll feel tempted to have yourself cover, insurance cover, give yourself insurance cover or savings or whatever. But your tax rates were so high. Yes. So it's nice to give you some incentives, but good enough for me to have a big return in terms of the tax that I collect. But whereas what I'm giving you now, which was introduced 2 years ago, this is the second regime, and Prime Minister was very clear that taxpayers should know actually what they're paying and exactly feel comforted that they're not paying much, and actually bring in rates down, make it simple so that anyone sitting at home should be able to file their returns and know, and that's the end of the story. I don't need to keep immense documents and so on. So we brought that in, and steadily we are making it attractive, but not forcing anybody to get out of the exemption regime. But the fact remains there that the rates have been very high, and you still got some discounts so that you can go with your...
So how many people do you think will migrate? Any sense that the government has?
I'm more talking about the layers which are covered by these beneficial tax rates. I would think in that layer at least 50% will come
50%. That's a big number. And what is the current number? Any idea that the government has of that?
Yeah, I have a number, but I don't think I can off the cuff say it.
Okay. This is a slightly broader question. You've been extremely successful in widening the tax base. As the base has widened, the tax slabs tend to go down. Do you think that could you consider in the long run bringing the top tax slab to 25%, just in line with your corporate tax rate, top corporate tax rate? Would that be the vision going forward?
Well, eventually the tax rates must be absolutely low and the assessee friendly. Citizens cannot be burdened with taxation. But that is when I've widened my base sufficiently. It can't be that few people pay and they pay huge amounts and I have to run the system. It shouldn't be that. It should definitely be wider the base, lower the tax, and therefore achieve both the objectives of collect your tax from those who can pay it, but collect enough so that you're able to run your schemes.